Alright, this video is to show you how to do the bug picking, as we like to call it, for a RiverWatch sample. After you've done your 2 habitat surveys, you've got a bucket full of debris and bugs. You want to get comfortable and take your white tray, your white gridded pan, and get ready to start placing your bugs in there. As we start picking these macroinvertebrates out of here, we want to start with the largest debris first. So, as you can see here, we have leaves and sticks and a couple larger pieces of logs. We want to start picking through those first. Before you get started though, you'll want to fill up your little tray with about 1 inch full of water. Allison is going to pour that water in there. Alright, that's good. Now we want to start picking through our debris. Just take it out a little bit at a time, examine it carefully. For leaf debris like this, it's a very dark color, so it could be really hard to see the macroinvertebrates against it. What I like to do is bring a second pan or a sheet or something in the field to set this out on, and it'll help you see any macroinvertebrates come out of there. So leaf debris like that I like to set in there. Sticks like this, you can go ahead and just kind of examine them really closely and see what you can find. After you get done examining a stick or log or something, just set it on the ground right by your tray. We start with the largest stuff in the bucket first. Remember, as you're looking, there's one right there. Remember, as you're looking through these things, if you have any caddis flies, they can build cases out of sticks and leaves and rocks. And so if you see a funny clump of debris stuck to a stick or a rock that shouldn't be there, that it just looks weird, it could be a caddisfly case. So be on the lookout for those. Got one hide. They're really good at hiding. You got to be very careful as you're looking through there. As you find the macroinvertebrates, you can place them into your gridded pan that comes in your RiverWatch kit. There's one right there. Just pick them off, put them into your pan. Examine all the little nooks and crannies. Sometimes you will find earthworms in your sample. These are actually terrestrial, but they do wind up in the creeks and streams. These are not a RiverWatch indicator. This is, some people call them night crawlers or earthworms. This is not an aquatic worm. Aquatic worms are a lot skinnier and a lot more delicate. So just so you know that when you're picking through your sample. All right, after you've picked through some of the coarse debris and maybe you've put some leaves in a larger pan to see if anything comes out of it, just look for movement in there, and if you see any macroinvertebrates, take them out and place them into your gridded pan. After you've sorted through your leaf debris and off to the side here, and you've got everything out and put it in your pan, you want to take the contents of your bucket, whatever's left, and pour it through your net to filter out the last remaining macroinvertebrates. Alright, after you've picked all your large debris out of your bucket, you want to pour the contents of your bucket through your dip net. This will help filter out some of the smaller stuff. And then go ahead and get some more water in your bucket to pour the rest of the debris. Shake it around a little bit, loosen all the sediment up that's in there, pour it into your net. All right, one more scoop of the bucket and that should be good. Shake it around, pour it through your net. Good deal. All right, now you want to take your D-net and shake it into the creek to help get out the fine sediment. After you've done that, you've got some more debris in your net to look through. This is the last debris you'll look through for the sample. Get comfortable and just start going through it. If you've got any large stuff in there, you can go ahead and take that out and examine it by hand. For smaller stuff, just kind of, you want to look in through the top. Anything you see, just kind of take them out and put them in the pan. Just gradually remove all your debris from the pan and look it over. All right, after you have all your bugs picked and you have them placed into your sampling tray, you want to look through there and see if there's any clams or crayfish. These are not RiverWatch indicators. As you can see here, these are crayfish. You want to give them a look over. One of the RiverWatch species of special interest is the rusty crayfish. The best way to identify rusty crayfish is if he has rusty patches on the side of his carapace and a black stripe on his, right beneath is on each of his claws. These guys do not have that, so we're just going to throw them back in the stream. After we remove the crayfish, we look and see if there's any other species of special interest, like fingernail clams, native mussels, zebra mussels, anything like that, Chinese mystery snails. We don't see any of those in there, and so we're going to, we'll get started collecting these guys. These are our RiverWatch indicators. Now, for RiverWatch, we only need 100 macroinvertebrates for our sample. If you have more than 100 macroinvertebrates, you can subsample. This is why we have the gridded tray, gridded into 9 squares. If you have one of the older trays, it might be 12 squares, but it's the same principle. What you want to do is, first of all, you need to make the bugs be still. And so that's why it's good to bring soda water with you. And you want to pour about 4 to 5 capfuls of soda water into your tray. Allison's just going to pretend like she's pouring some of those in there. And once you have 4 to 5 capfuls of soda water in there, give it another few minutes for the bugs to slow down. The carbon dioxide will sedate them temporarily. That'll help them to be still and stay in their grids. After you've poured your soda water in there, you want to shake it up, and that helps everything to get evenly dispersed. I'm going to remove that rock so it sits a little bit flatter. Now we have things that are evenly dispersed throughout our tray. So every RiverWatch kit has a random number cup. The random number cup has some papers in it, has just little pieces of paper numbered 1 through 9. You shake it up and you draw a number. You can have someone do it without looking if you like. We drew the number 4 first. And so what we would do is every bug that's in number 4, we would pick out and we would put into our sample jar. The sample jar is what you take you preserve all your samples in that you will actually use to calculate your stream quality. Each sample jar, you should put a label inside of it with the date, your site ID, the water body, and so on. Make sure you fill that out in pencil. That alcohol in here will definitely denature any ink and cause it to run all over the place. So pencil is best. So you'd fill this with alcohol, and then we drew number 4, so we would pick all the invertebrates out of number 4. So if this scud was in number 4, we would pull him out. If this caddisfly was number 4, we'd pull him out. Anybody else, it looks like there's a little leech right there. We'd pull him out and put him in number 4. And you would do that until every bug was removed from number 4. Then on your data sheet, in the number 4 block on the bottom of the biological survey sheet, you would write down how many bugs you removed from square 4. And if you're still not at 100 bugs, go ahead and draw another number. So we would shake those up, draw another number. We drew number 5. So everybody in number 5, it's their turn to get picked. And so you would pick those out and put them into your sample jar until you have all of them out of square number 5. And then if you're still not at 100 bugs, you would keep drawing squares until you make it to 100 bugs. If you make it to 100 bugs, you're counting as you go along. Before you finish out a square, go ahead and finish out the entire square. We always want to pick every bug out of a square before we stop. I'm going to put these guys back in here. After you've got at least 100 bugs and you've marked down how many out of each square on your data sheet, you add up how many total and you write that at the bottom of your subsample sheet. That's how many that you subsampled. And then all those go into your jar, and you're ready to take those back to the lab to identify everybody else. And after you get all those out, you want to take one last quick look at your tray. You want to see if there's any invertebrates that you know that you did not pick out already, any different kinds. Just pick one of each of any different kinds you see left in there and put them into your jar to ensure that you're measuring all the diversity that you captured. So you want to look through here if there's anybody, say this caddisfly right here. If we know we didn't pick out any caddisflies earlier, we'd put him in the jar too, even though we've already got our 100 bugs. And then we'd write that down. We took out one caddisfly onto our data sheet. And then after that, you're done with your subsample. You can release all the remaining bugs in the tray back to the stream. If you had less than 100 bugs to begin with, like we do in this case, you would not need to subsample. You would just just take all of these with your forceps and put them into your sample jar with alcohol, and you'd preserve those. And then you could identify them whenever you get back to your house or to the lab, or if you come to a RiverWatch open lab. Just keep those bugs in the alcohol there until they're ready. Again, make sure before you do this that you have a jar label. Those are available on the RiverWatch website on the resources page. You can print out more jar labels if you need them. Write on them in pencil. Protects them from getting destroyed by the alcohol. And that's how you remove all your bugs and take them back to the lab.